The only thing worse than watching 3 hours of wrestling on Monday night is having to watch 3 hours of wrestling on Friday night, guys. And that is why this review will not go that long. It will not be a full, long, in-depth review. It will rather be a quick rundown of what happened on SmackDown. I'm going to lay the SmackDown on SmackDown, and then we can get away, we can get after this video, and we can get back to doing more entertaining things with our life, because this show, in all seriousness, wasn't entertaining. It's essentially become a couple of segment shows. I mean, you want to see Edge, you want to see the Cena Reigns stuff, and that is it. Nothing else seems relevant. I want to see Sasha Banks' hot ass, but unfortunately it wasn't on the show, so I don't know, but we'll talk about what was on the show, and that was Edge. So we kick off with Edge in the ring. Very serious Edge looking as if he's got a few screws loose. What I will say is, I think Edge looked pretty healthy here, because I remember when he first returned, like last year, he didn't look that great. You know, his face was awful, like, clamped in. It was as if he was he was starving, like no one had, it's like Beth Phoenix was eating all the food at home and no one had cooked him a real meal in about 2 years, but he looks a lot better now. He definitely looks a bit healthier, and he sat in the ring and he was on about how he's got the neck injury and he's got the vertebrae, he's got the pins in his neck, and that one curb stomp could end his career. And he's talking about how Rollins took it too far, mentioning his family, his kids, etc., etc. Edge says that he's got to break Rollins at SummerSlam, and at SummerSlam he will burn him down. And then that was it. We leave from Edge. It was alright, it was okay, but I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't. It was better that Edge done this, but I mean, like, Edge's facial expressions are good, and you can tell that he's pissed, you can tell that he's serious, but I mean, if you take Edge out of this and you put anyone else and they cut this exact same promo, by anyone else I mean someone who isn't like on Edge's level, this promo just wouldn't be good. You know, like 95% of the roster could not have done what Edge done here. If 95% of the roster done this, you'd laugh at them, it wouldn't be serious, but at least with Edge, he does have that believability factor. You take him serious. If he's talking about he's going to burn someone down, you believe it. you know, he's a rated R superstar, he'll do whatever it takes to win. Speaking of doing what it takes to win, with Rey Mysterio trying to give a pep talk to Dominic. I don't want to talk about this. Dominic Mysterio, in my opinion, shit. He's a poor man's David Flair, and David Flair was garbage as well, but I felt David Flair was a lot better than Mysterio. Can Dominic do things in the ring? Yeah, he's okay. I mean, he's alright, but he's garbage. He belongs on 205 Live. He's got a cool second name, Mysterio, but apart from that, he's flabby, doesn't have an ounce of muscle on him, can't cut a promo, can't do anything really, and it's sad because I think this is like, you know, Rey Mysterio's career's in its twilight years, and you would just rather see Rey Mysterio get a half decent run rather than just being chucked with Dominic. Now, the way they're setting up, I do think Dominic's going to turn heel on Rey, and then we might get Rey versus Dominic in a feud. But honestly, I don't know how that's going to work because Dominic is so green. I'm assuming that's why they're putting him in tag team matches as well, because that means Rey Mysterio can work the majority of the match. But I don't think a Rey Mysterio Dominic feud would be good at all. I mean, Rey is like 20 years older than him, but he would embarrass him in the ring. Rey Mysterio would show him up. Rey Mysterio is far superior, so I don't know if they're going to go down that route, but it certainly seems like they're going that way. I think they'll be splitting them up because it seems to be Dominic week in, week out that's costing them. I mean, they could have Rey turn on Dominic, but honestly, I don't see how they're going to do that. With Rey Mysterio's size, it's hard for him to be a heel. I know he's older and all this stuff, more experienced, but I can't see Rey doing much. Personally, I mean, probably Rey wanted to become the first father-son tag team champs, and I totally get that. That's a great honour, but they've done that. I would like to see Dominic get traded, you know. Why not put him in NXT? Where all the young guys are, you know, that's like the raw, the inexperienced guys, the green guys, or should we call them the yellow guys? Stick them on NXT, but get Rey away from him. Come on, do the right thing, move him in the brand split these two up. Anyway, one of the Usos beat Rey Mysterio, is what it is. Then we had Natalya taking on Shotzi Blackheart. Nobody cares about this. Seth Rollins came out. He was cutting his promo. Edge appears in the Titans Room with the Brood music, so I thought we were getting the return of the Brood. Is it going to be Gangrel? Is it going to be Christian? Is Christian left AEW? No, it's just Edge. Edge is up on the screen with the red lighting on. And the next minute, we get what I thought was going to be a bloodbath, but then the lights come on and it's not a bloodbath, it's a black bath. A black bath. Is this not racist? I mean, what the hell? A black bath? Come on. Is WWE that PG that they couldn't do a bloodbath? I mean, it would have looked, I guess that's what they were going for, but it was black. And then, what's his name on commentary? What's that guy called? The NFL guy on McAfee is saying he didn't know if he could say a brood bath. Come on. The fact he's admitting on live TV he doesn't know what terms and what words he can use, it's just embarrassing. Really is embarrassing. Should have just did it. Should have been red, and it should have just been called a bloodbath. Why not? But no, they do black stuff, and they can't even. It looked like the black goo that was coming out of Randy Orton's mouth last year, but still, I mean, they can't even call it a bloodbath. Kinda embarrassing. Then we get a match between Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin. I'm sure we've seen this shit a couple weeks ago. Big E comes out, tries to get the briefcase. Corbin fights him off, runs away with the briefcase. We've got Bianca Belair, who I hope loses the belt because she's absolute garbage. She sucks. Her title reign's been a failure. Get the belt back on Banks. But anyway, she takes on two separate matches, Selena Vega and Carmella. I think she won them both, to be honest. I was losing interest at this stage. We had Otis defeat Montez Ford of the Street Profits. This Otis guy's growing on me. I admit, at the moment, there's no room for him at the world title picture because obviously it's Reigns and Cena, and once Cena loses and sadly goes away, I imagine they'll be putting someone else in there. But I would like to see Otis get pushed. Maybe even the IC belt. Come on. Nakamura's doing nothing at the moment. Who cares about this guitar guy, Biggs or Buggs or whatever the fuck he's called? Irrelevant. Absolutely doing nothing. Get rid of him. Get rid of Nakamura. Get the belt off him. I'd put the belt on Otis. I think Otis is doing a pretty good job at the moment. I think Chad Gable's terrible, but it kind of works. I didn't think I'd ever say I think Chad Gable works, but the whole thing with him training Otis is kind of good at the moment. The Alpha Academy, maybe they could add another person to it. I don't know. Maybe they could add a female to it. I don't know. But I kind of like what they're doing with Otis at the moment. That's pretty good. And then we move into the main event. Again, it's Cena. They promote this as Cena versus Reigns face-to-face. It's the same shit we got with Goldberg, Lashley face-to-face. But we got Cena Reigns face-to-face last week. So why can't they do something? This would never happen back in the day. It's like they're so uncreative. Nowadays, all they do, this guy and this guy face-to-face tonight, and that's enough to tune in. I mean, can't they do something different? Can't they promote it throughout the show rather than just say, face-to-face tonight? Is there no unique way or interesting way they can promote it rather than just saying both of these guys are going to be in the ring? You know what I mean? Can't they allude to the fact they're going to be in the ring, like maybe have Cena turn up looking for Reigns or something, or it gets announced throughout the show that or have Cena come out and interrupt them or something. Just the bland announcement at the start of the show. They're going to be face to face. At least when they say Cena and Reigns are going to be face to face, you think something might happen. Unlike Lashley Goldberg, where nothing good's going to happen. Just Goldberg's going to hit somebody with a terrible, dodgy looking spear. So again, tonight Reigns says that Cena's going to go and do his movies. Reigns even says that if he loses to Cena, he'll leave the WWE. Cena again comes out with the 1, 2, 3 thing. This wasn't good last week. I don't know why he's trying it again. It wasn't good last week. It wasn't good this week. All I need is 1, 2, 3. Cena says he's not here to promote movies. He's here to demote Roman Reigns' ass. And that was a pretty good line. Unfortunately, it was really the only good thing from this, in my opinion. I mean, I love Cena. I think the guy's great, but I don't think it was that great tonight. I don't. I just watched CM Punk's debut. I don't think in AEW, I don't think that was great. I mean, just because I like people, I'm not going to say they've done good stuff if I don't believe they have. I think Cena's last 2 promos with Reigns have been, they've been alright, but people are marking it as if they're the greatest thing they've seen in years, and to be honest, that's not really the case. Reigns then shakes Cena's hand. He goes to try and give him what looks like an attitude adjustment. Cena rolls down and does a schoolboy. He does a roll-up on, as if he's trying to win the WWE 24/7 title. He does a roll-up on Roman Reigns, and then for 3 seconds, then rolls out the ring and starts jumping like an absolute retard. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It reminded me of Ryback. Feed me more. Feed me more. This 1, 2, 3 thing shit, man. Drop it, Cena. Come on, you're better than this. You can do better than this. Then SmackDown goes off the air with Roman Reigns, you know, looking worried because he can lose. Cena held him down for 1, 2, 3. McAfee says, oh, he kicked out at 2.5. And I mean, nobody cares. What should have happened here is Cena should have countered the AA and hit one of his own on Roman Reigns. That would have been better. Or got him in the STFU and had Roman Reigns tap it out. That would have been better. But to roll him up for an imaginary free count when it's not a match, that means absolutely shite. I thought that was terrible. Terrible ending here to this show. Overall, I thought it was alright, and I think Seth Rollins is probably doing some of the best work of his career at the moment with Edge. I'm not a massive Seth Rollins fan, but I'll give credit where it's due. I think at the moment he's doing some of the best stuff we've seen for the guy in years. So that's it, guys. SmackDown's over. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. I mean, I thought the Cena and Reigns stuff was kind of, again, just bland. It was worse than last week's, and they weren't seen throughout the show. Oh, I don't see why I couldn't have promoted them. Why couldn't we got a backstage interview with Cena at, like, you know, about half an hour into the show, and then maybe an hour into the show we get an interview with Paul Heyman, then maybe something we did with Paul Heyman and Reigns, but instead you don't get them until the last 10 minutes. I don't get it. At least we got Edge throughout the show twice, but it's like this one and done. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. You've got Cena there. The Cena-Reigns feud actually feels important. Why not use them more than once? I mean, back in the day, Austin was fucking over. Austin was on the show multiple times. Like, Austin would maybe come out and do the opening promo, then he'd be booked for the main event match, and then throughout the show you would see segments with Stone Cold Steve Austin backstage. Now it's like, well, we can only use Cena once, you know? It's like, it's as if Cena's like the trump card, you can only use it once, then you need to discard it. What a joke. Why can't they just use the guy more, for fuck's sake? 2 out of 10, guys. If you don't like the review, then I don't know what to tell you. But this is the truth, and nothing but the truth here on Fog Wrestling. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below. And until next time, peace.